Good morning students. Today we will discuss about the physical properties of metal in part 2 of metals and non-metals. Now we will discuss about the physical properties of metals. What are physical properties? Physical properties include appearance, color, their odor, boiling point, melting point, etc. Here are some pictures of some metals. You can see copper, lead, tin, nickel, steel, zinc, brass and sodium. You can see these all metals have a shiny surface, or you can say they have a luster. You can see this sodium metal. This sodium metal also when break into pieces, its surface shine. And at home also we use the cookwares of brass and copper. You can see when they are new, these have a shining surface. Slowly their shine goes dull. So what happens if you will rub it again it will start shining. So this is the property of metals. Metals are lustrous, or you can say metals have a shiny surface. Next is metals are generally hard except sodium. You can compare the metals. These all blocks which are kept here, you can see these are very hard. Metal objects which you have at your home, you can see these are very hard. Even you cannot imagine it to cut with the knife. But as far as sodium is concerned, you can see it is dipped in the bottle in kerosene, and this you will study in the chemical properties. Why is it dipped in the kerosene oil? Because it is very reactive, it is vigorously reactive. So that is why it is just put inside the bottle in kerosene oil. If you will take it out, even it can catch fire easily. This you will study in the chemical properties. So what you can do, if you will press it between the filter paper, and then you can keep it on the watch glass and you can cut it easily, you will be able to cut the sodium piece. But you have to take very care while handling with the sodium. Next, and you know that hardness also varies from metal to metal. Next is metals are malleable. If you just strike the metal with the hammer, you can see that it can change the shape. It can change into a thin sheet. So many metals are there. When you beat it with the hammer, it changes into the sheet, and this property is called malleability. So we can say that metals are malleable. In this picture you can see this is the iron sheet, and you can see this is the aluminium foil which you use to pack the food. It is made up of metal. And you know that on sweets, on many sweets you can see some silver color paper. This silver paper is actual silver paper. This is metal silver paper, and silver is most malleable. Easily it can you can see it is very thin paper. So in this way metals show the property that is called malleability. Metals are ductile. If you consider some metals like iron, copper, aluminum, lead, they all can be drawn into the wires, and this property of changing the metal into the wire is termed as ductility. And gold is the most ductile metal. You will be surprised to know that a wire of about 2 km length can be drawn from 1 gram gold. These all rolls you can see here made up of metal. And you know that electricity transmission takes place through metal wire. The wires which we use for transmitting electricity made up of metal, it has the covering of PVC on it, so that if you touch it you don't get a shock. So we can say metals are ductile. Next is metals are good conductor of heat. This is an activity to prove that metals are good conductor of heat. Though you all know that we have the cookware of metal, and why do we use these cookware? Because metals are good conductor of heat. So our food can cook easily in less time. But here with the help of this activity you can see this is the metal wire which we have fixed with the clamp on this stand, right? And on the free end of this wire some wax we have put, and then one pin is inserted here. Then this metal wire is heated with the help of this burner. You will see that by getting this heat, this metal wire becomes hot, and when it becomes hot this wax melts and pin drops down. What does it show? That this heat, when is given to this metal wire transfers the heat from one end to another end, and because of that when this end becomes hot, because of the heat wax melts. But you can observe one more thing, that metal wire doesn't melt, means it has high melting point. So by this activity you can show that metals are good conductor of heat and they have a high melting point. The best conductors you can write that silver and copper are the best conductor, though we don't use the silver for cooking because silver is too expensive. Lead and mercury are comparatively poor conductors of heat. So in all the properties you can see that properties which metals have, they vary from metal to metal. Now we can see that metals are good conductor of electricity by using this setup of experiment. And students, you have to learn these all activities very properly. Even these all setup of experiments also learn properly, so that if question is asked related to these activity in question paper, you are answerable. So this is the battery which is connected with its two ends. One end is attached with the clip A and another end of the battery you can see is attached with bulb and then with the switch, and this is with clamp B. These two clips are here. In between these two clips you will insert the samples to test whether the electricity is conducted or not. When you are inserting the sample here, if bulb glows, means the electricity is conducted. If bulb doesn't glow, means electricity is not conducted by the given sample. So which type of samples you can use here? You can see any wooden piece. If you will just attach or fix the wooden piece in between these two clips A, B, you will find that bulb doesn't glow. What does it show? That wood cannot conduct electricity. In the same way, if you are attaching plastic here, again the bulb will not glow, showing it doesn't conduct electricity. But as you insert here some metal object, even it can be copper, iron, and you can see that this bulb glows. It shows that metals conduct electricity. And we know that wires which are used for transmission of electricity, even in homes also, these all are made up of metals. Generally we use copper wires. So this means that metals conduct electricity. And you know that silver is the best conductor, but silver doesn't use for transmission of electricity because silver is very expensive. This is very common question which is asked many times in the question paper. Why silver is not used for conduction of electricity? So the next property is metals are sonorous, means they produce sound on striking a hard surface. This is the bell. If you strike this piece of bell, with the wall of this bell, you hear a sound. It shows that metals are sonorous. If any metal object is dropped on hard surface, then also it produces a sound. So generally metals are sonorous. That's all for today. We'll meet in the next video. Thank you.